in Copilot Studio, I created an agent which I called Autonomous Inventory Agent. The first thing I did is to describe my agent and add some instructions. So here I'm saying that I'm monitoring the level for IT device, and I need an approval when the order is above $10,000. And then I have detailed instructions. So here I explain the different steps I want my agent to make sure to follow. When we are running low, check the stock policy. If the item is below a minimum quantity that is defined in my stock policy, calculate the total order amount based on the recommended order quantity, check that the total is below or above $10,000, reach out to a human if it's above $10,000, and then send an email once you've done that. So here, those are my general instructions. Here, I added knowledge. So I have my stock policy here that is describing to my agent what are the rules. So let's say I have different items. For laptops, I always want to have a minimum of 10 in stock because that's what the procurement team decided. And if we go below that quantity, I want to order laptops 10 at a time because the vendor that is procuring me laptops has a minimum of 10 in an order. And for different equipment, I may have different rules and different minimum of order every time. So for cell phone, I want 25 and a minimum of order is 25. For mouse, it's 50, etc. So I can add in that stock policy in natural language, what are the business rules that my procurement team gave me to order more equipment every time. So my agent has access to that stock policy because I uploaded that stock policy inside the knowledge of my agent. And then my agent has a set of actions to accomplish certain tasks. So the first is request approval to order. If I'm above $10,000, I will reach out to a human for approval. Then if the approval is confirmed, if the order is confirmed, I will automatically order more equipment. And the last step is I will send an email to the procurement team saying that I've ordered more quantity. All right. So let's get a quick look at my database table that contains my inventory. So you can see here, I have a very basic data model with the different equipment name, the quantity I have in stock, the lead time it takes to get that in stock from the vendor, the unit price, and which vendor is providing me which equipment. So let's say I have a laptop that goes below the minimum of inventory, which is 10. In my scenario, it's 9. So I will trigger my agent manually so you can see what's happening behind the scene. To trigger your autonomous agent manually, you can test here the trigger. So my trigger is going to be a Power Automate trigger that is monitoring that database table. And inside that trigger, I can put some business logic to avoid running my trigger too frequently. So here I'm monitoring that inventory table and I'm filtering any quantity that is below 10. So if something happened on that table, but the quantity in stock doesn't go below 10, I'm not going to do anything because my minimum, the minimum stock I want to keep is 10 for laptops. So that prevents my flow of running too frequently every time my database table is updated. Whenever I go below 10, which is the minimum order for any of my equipment, I will send a prompt to my autonomous agent. So here you can see that I crafted myself a specific prompt to send that information to my autonomous agent. So I'm telling my agent that we are running low on inventory for a particular equipment. We only have X amount in stock. Here's the unit price, here's the lead time, and the vendor is this one. So I'm giving context about what is going to happen to my agent. So let's give it a try and test that trigger to simulate that my laptop level is below 10. So I'm going to click Start Testing, and I'm going to show you that we can see in real time what's going to happen in Copilot Studio. And takes a minute. That's the demo effect. Whenever I share my screen, that always does that. All right, let's just try to refresh the page and see if Okay, I've got logged out. That's why it's failed. All right, so let me log back in and do that same test again. All right, so we're back. Let's do a test trigger. So here it's loading the latest run I've done. I click on start testing, there we go. So now it moves to my activity map. The activity map is going to tell me what is happening behind the scene. First thing that my agent is going to do is to retrieve the stock policy, because it received information saying, hey, we are running low on laptops, we are under 10. So it's going to check the stock policy to know how much to order. Next step is, oh, I need to order 10. And it understood that in the policy, it says if you're above $10,000, you need to ask for approval. One laptop is $1,200 times 10 is more than 10,000. So I can see here in Teams, I have an approval request that is showing up. So I'm saying, hey, the total order amount for laptop exceed that amount. Do you want to approve it or not? So as a procurement manager, I want to approve that. And I'm going to switch back to the view here. You can see the output was switched to approve in real time. And then my agent, since I approved the order, is going to order more equipment. And in here, it's going to decide to order 10 because it's in my stock policy, I decided that the order minimum is 10. And after that, it sends an email with the recap of the order. So it sends it to my email address, which is what I instructed the agent to do, with a subject, and I have the detail of my order with the lead time, and it even calculated the delivery date. And you can see here in the chat, it also gave me an output of what was sent in the email. So that's an example of a real scenario of an autonomous inventory agent that is here to automatically reorder quantity whenever I'm running low on a particular stock.